On March 3rd, the tetrad portal opens. It is a rare alignment of the four elements, a phenomenon that occurs only once a century. The blood moon eclipse, the mirror date. March 3rd, the peak of the full moon, and the fury of the fiery horse. This is more than just a date. It is the foundation of your reality for the years to come. Either you step into this fire and rewrite your destiny now, or you remain in the dust of history for another cycle. The clock is ticking. Are you ready to take the reins of your fate? Many feel this energy intuitively, but I will show you its true structure. While most are mindlessly wasting time scrolling through their feeds, you stopped here. And this is your first signal. You now hold the square of power. While the rest of the world sleeps mentally, buried in chaos and anxiety, those who possess the secret knowledge use this moment to break the closed circle of karma. First, the mirror code. March 3rd, 2026. Look at the numerological code of this date. These are not just numbers. They are the mathematical blueprint of your transition. The 3303.03, an amplified signal, the code of divine synthesis and creation. The 22, 2026, an open channel for emotion and intuition. The 6, sum of the year, the grounding of your intention into the material world. The 7, the final sum of the date, the number of mystery and the decisive spiritual leap. This moment is no accident. Before you lies the perfect formula for transformation. During this time, the universe becomes a giant mirror. Every thought, every image is instantly reflected in space and becomes a solid reality. Second, the full moon in Virgo. Virgo is the sign of purity and order. On this night, nature itself brings perfect order to your life, sweeping away chaos and doubt. It is a light that makes your path crystal clear. And third, the absolute peak, the total lunar eclipse. The ancients spoke of this phenomenon with awe, calling it the blood moon. But do not fear this color. On this night, the moon is painted in the color of life itself. It is the fire of celestial transformation. This is the missing puzzle piece. While a full moon simply lights the way, the blood moon burns the bridges to your past. In this sacred minute, the gravity of karma resets to zero. All the old contracts, vows of poverty, and fears that held you for years lose their power. You no longer need to fight for your happiness or earn it. The blood moon does the heavy lifting for you. It dissolves your chains. All you need to do is exhale and let the old, cramped shell fall at your feet. So that on this mirror morning of March 3rd, you may spread your wings as the master of your new destiny. 3 portals merge at a single point in time and space. The mirror, date March 3rd. The light, full moon. And the fire of transformation, blood moon. This is no coincidence. This is the sacred trinity of creation. The spirit, triggering the impulse through the eclipse. The soul, purified by the light of the full moon. And matter, which instantly takes the shape of your desires through the 3.03 mirror code. On this night, heaven, earth, and humanity become one. This is the very golden key that appears once in a lifetime, the key to a reality where you no longer beg, but manifest. The 4th seal, the fiery horse. But there is something that makes this date truly historic. The 4th secret. This eclipse is the first in the year of the fiery horse. For the first time in 60 years, the untamed element of fire meets the profound magic of the blood moon. Imagine this. The fire of the horse gives you speed and passion, while the eclipse burns away every obstacle from your path. This is not just a chance. This is a nuclear reactor for your intentions. I know what you're thinking right now. A full moon in Virgo happens every year, and the date March 3rd is on every calendar. What's so special about this? And technically, you're right. Astronomically, the moon goes through this cycle annually. That's a fact. But let me ask you a question. Light is everywhere. An ordinary light bulb gives light. The sun gives light. But would you call a super powerful laser an ordinary light bulb? The physics are the same. Photons. The result is entirely different. All the magic of March 3rd lies in the focus. On an ordinary day, the universe's energy is scattered, like light from a nightlight. It shines in all directions, but it's weak. But on March 3rd, coherence happens, the alignment of the beams. Imagine this massive cosmic setup. The full moon is the source. It provides a massive stream of light. The mirror date. March 3rd acts as a system of mirrors, setting the direction. The year of the fiery horse is the reactor, pumping this system with wild, untamed energy. And the eclipse, blood moon, is that very focusing lens. It takes all this massive volume of light and compresses it into the thinnest, white-hot laser beam. An ordinary light bulb cannot burn through steel, but a laser cuts through metal like butter. It is the eclipse that turns just bright light into a powerful laser. This is exactly what happens on March 3rd, 2026. An ordinary intention just hangs in the air. But the beam, focused by the March 3rd eclipse, burns straight through matter, instantly carving a doorway in reality where a solid concrete wall used to be. And in this exact moment, the core shift happens. Any thought you place inside this beam gains ultimate density. It is no longer a timid dream or a wish. It becomes a laser engraving. On a normal day, reality is inert. It resists your desires like cold, hard stone. But at the peak of the March 3rd eclipse, this beam melts away all resistance of the material world. Your intention is instantly imprinted into the very structure of matter. Forever. Effortlessly. Without a struggle. You simply burn your new script onto the fabric of the universe, and it has no choice but to accept it. Because on any normal day, the moon dictates your life. In astrology, the moon governs your habits, your need for safety, your autopilot. And a full moon pushes this to the absolute limit. In this moment, the magical energy peaks, and the moon ruthlessly spotlights everything in your life that begs for change. But your mind cannot handle this raw truth. While the moon shines, your brain panics and clings to the past with a death grip. It blocks your evolution, whispering, "Don't risk it. Play it safe. Stay hidden." But the March 3rd eclipse is different. It is a rare cosmic glitch. The Earth's shadow swallows the moon, and what mystics call the eclipse of the mind happens. For a few precious hours, your inner guard, your cold logic and your deepest fears, completely drops its guard. It's as if your mind's control center simply powers down. The autopilot turns off. The defense system collapses. On any ordinary day, this would just trigger chaos and anxiety. But this is where the March 3rd mirror date comes into play. It is exactly what transforms this chaos into a portal. As soon as the guard falls asleep, your exposed subconscious stands directly before the great mirror of the universe. There are no more filters between your thought and its manifestation. No doubts. No time delay. The March 3rd mirror instantly reads what is deep inside you and turns it into dense, physical matter. This is exactly why your intentions must be absolutely pure right now. And finally, the fiery horse makes this process irreversible. Imagine this. The eclipse opened the door, the mirror showed the way, and the fiery horse gives you the final forceful push. It injects this equation with wild, untamed passion and speed. What would normally take you years of therapy and inner work is hardwired into your brain in mere seconds on this night. Because the fiery horse doesn't just walk, it gallops, and it will drag you into a brand new reality, whether you are ready for it or not. If this voice is playing in your headphones right now, stop. Throw away any thoughts about algorithms and random recommendations. There are no accidents in the universe. This is synchronicity. The universe has led you to this knowledge exactly at this moment, because your soul has already consented to this transition. You are ready. Take a deep breath. Your transformation has already begun. You must also understand what you are interacting with. The ancient keepers of knowledge call this period the emotional powder keg. During a regular full moon, magical energy simply amplifies. But when the moon turns blood red, a peak eruption occurs. All your hidden emotions, everything you have suppressed for years, fears, aggression, unshed tears, rise to the surface. It is inevitable. The full moon ruthlessly spotlights what demands change. You will not be able to ignore it. Transformation happens regardless. If you act blindly, it unfolds unconsciously. But if you are aware of the process, you can take precise actions that will inevitably lead you to a better reality. Our ancestors knew this power better than we do. In medieval Europe, the blood moon was considered an omen of impending disaster. Legends warned that dark forces awakened on this night, making stepping out into the dark strictly forbidden. Why were they so afraid? Because they felt it. In this exact moment, the veil between worlds thins. What they called the awakening of evil is actually the activation of your shadow self. It is your wild, primal power that you usually hide behind a mask of politeness. But the most crucial shift happens on an energetic level. A lunar eclipse does what no other spiritual practice can do. It completely blocks the moon's habitual energy. That very energy responsible for your stability, your comfort, and your safety shuts down. This is the moment your usual life script comes to a complete halt. And it is exactly this energetic blackout that creates the perfect conditions for a profound reset and deep self-reflection. While the familiar world is on pause and your emotions are stripped to the absolute core, you finally have the power to rewrite your contract with destiny. Therefore, the blood moon is a time of massive transformation. This is no walk in the park. It is a risk. Arguments during this period can lead to devastating consequences for years to come. But if you channel this explosive energy not into conflicts with loved ones, but into shattering your inner chains, you will achieve the liberation you've been waiting for your entire life. The blocks that created illnesses, toxic relationships, and financial limitations will begin to fall away. You will literally clear the space for a new, abundant life. In Chinese metaphysics, the fiery horse is known as Bingwu. Both elements belong to yang fire. The fact, this is the only sign in the cycle where fire is present both in heaven and on earth. This state is called the pure flame. How to use it? On March 3rd, you step into the stream of the pure flame. This energy is so dense that it doesn't just warm you, it vaporizes any obstacles and limitations. This year, it is as if two suns are shining in the sky, and the shadows of your past disappear forever. The year of the fiery horse shifts the global paradigm. 1786, the birth of shorthand, and the dawn of mass printing. An absolute information explosion. 1846, the discovery of Neptune, the planet of magic, intuition, and the subconscious. The fiery horse opens access to higher realms. 1906, Alberto Santos Dumont makes one of the first officially recognized public airplane flights in Paris. Humanity is no longer chained to the ground. This wasn't just an invention, it was a psychological breakthrough. If we can fly, it means anything is possible. In that same year, a massive earthquake destroys San Francisco. The old city falls. The new one is built on its ruins. And now, 2026, the next turn of the spiral. And the question is not whether the world will change. It will change. The question is, will you cling to the old version of yourself, or will you saddle up? Because in the year of the fiery horse, there are no passengers. There are only those who hold the reins. This is the year for those who step out of the role of a spectator and become the creator. March 3rd is the day of your initiation. The last time there was such a concentration of fire and darkness was long before you were born. The next one will happen when we are already gone. You are the exact link where the chain of time connects. Do not let this fiery wave pass you by. Take the reins of your destiny while the portal of opportunity is still open. Everything that was set into motion on February 17th, 2026, at the very beginning of the eclipse corridor, reaches its absolute culmination right now. March 3rd is the final chord. It is the exact point where the eclipse corridor closes, locking you forever into a new reality from which there is no return to the past. And if this information has revealed itself to you only today, do not miss this chance. You must do this ritual practice to complete your transition. You will wake up a completely different person, light, free, a magnet for luck. This is the ultimate quantum elevator that takes you straight to the level of abundance, bypassing years of climbing stairs and struggling. All that is required of you is to be ready to receive this gift. But the gates are open for only a few hours. To activate the mirror code 03.03 and write your name into a brand new timeline of reality, you only need to know one key phrase. Before we move on to the practice to activate your true desires, remember one cosmic law. To fill a vessel with new abundance, it must first be emptied. The eclipse erases your old scripts, which is why today you must not make sudden moves in your familiar reality. It is forbidden to start important new projects or make fateful decisions. You must not argue or sort things out. Conflicts today become destructive and last for years. But most importantly, keep your thoughts crystal clear. During this period, it is strictly forbidden to wish harm, seek revenge, envy, or engage in self-destruction even in your thoughts. Remember, the universe right now is a giant mirror. Direct light into it, and it will multiply. Direct darkness, and it will consume you. The law of do no harm is your ultimate shield today. And finally, many mystics advise against looking directly at the eclipse itself to protect your psyche from overload. March 3rd is the perfect day to close old cycles, cleanse the space where you live, do some cleaning. You can light incense. In the evening, take a salt bath or a shower to wash away superficial energy. Then, take a piece of paper and write down everything you want to get rid of forever. Illnesses, debts, fears, toxic connections. Burn this paper. Visualize the negativity turning into ashes. Tonight, the blood moon will take away everything unnecessary, with no return. Since March 3rd is a mirror date, we will use the power of reflection to materialize what you desire. Take a clean sheet of paper and write down your main intention. That single thing you truly want to manifest into your life this year. Write clearly, in the present tense, as if it is already a part of your reality. Looking into the mirror, straight into your own eyes, say the key phrase, I am the creator of my reality. Fold this paper and place it in your wallet or in a folder with important documents. Keep it as an active talisman until it comes true. There is a second path, which for some is much faster. For the first 7 days, keep it in a secluded place, letting it feed on the energy of your resources and plans. Exactly 1 week later, when the paper is saturated with the power of your decision, surrender it to the element of earth for growth and realization. Bury it in the earth, ideally in a pot with a living plant. This way, you first connect your request with the material world, and then give it the energy for life and prosperity. Let your desire take form in reality. Your new code is written. There is no turning back. And now for the most important part. After the corridor closes on March 3rd, the time of sacred silence begins. Do not reveal your intentions to anyone. Guard your secret like a sacred seed until it takes root in the material world. The energy of the fire horse dissipates instantly through empty words and the doubts of others. Simply watch for the signs. The entire world, like a massive living mechanism, will begin to align with your new rhythm. This is true synchronicity, when the external space instantly responds to your internal request. You will start noticing it everywhere. Mirror numbers on the clock, seemingly winking at you during crucial moments. Random phrases from passers-by or book titles providing direct answers to your thoughts. The right people appearing in your life exactly when you need them the most. Do not analyze this with your logic. Just acknowledge it and be grateful. Every sign like this is a direct confirmation from the universe. Your path is open. You are on the right track. The more of these beacons you notice, the faster and smoother your quantum elevator rises. But for your intention to be fully grounded in the physical world, it must be anchored. Right now, lock your intention into this space. Write your Creator's declaration in the comments below. One powerful sentence that will become your personal seal. If you already created a declaration at the beginning of the eclipse corridor, repeat it here. Do not change the phrasing. Let your desire resonate once more, gaining double strength and confirming your unshakable will. Manifest it into the world. Don't scatter your energy. Focus on a single point, creating double the power. It is time to confirm that you are the author of your reality. Start with the words, on March 3rd, 2026, and finish with your goal as if it is already in the past. For example, on March 3rd, 2026, I completely freed myself from fears and reached an income of $10,000 a month. On March 3rd, 2026, I completely healed my body and feel inexhaustible strength. On March 3rd, 2026, I met my soulmate and created a union full of love. Why is this so important? When you write this publicly, you are making the Creator's declaration. This is a physical act. You form the letters, you press the keys, you anchor your intention in dense matter. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between reality and imagination. When you write, "I have done it," it accepts it as an accomplished fact and begins to restructure your life so that reality aligns with your word. Moreover, this creates an effect of collective resonance. When thousands of people simultaneously declare their power, a powerful energetic wave is created that picks up and carries every single one of us. You are not alone. Together, you are entering this portal like riders of the fire horse, sweeping away old obstacles. Don't scroll past. Don't put it off until tomorrow. Tomorrow, the corridor closes. Write it right now, on March 3rd, 2026, and follow it with who you have already become. This is your first step, your seal, your point of no return. This is your physical action that anchors the impulse into the shared field. Write it down and feel how the period at the end of your sentence becomes a true point of no return. The path of the fire horse is long and complex. It is hard to walk alone. Hit the like button if you are ready to harness this elemental force with me. Subscribe so you don't miss the next keys to your awakening. Great times await us.